You're with Johnny Vedmore on today's News Talk, TNT.
So, Joseph, the Ban the Jabs campaign is clearly one of the most important campaigns I've heard of over the past few years. How did it start, and how effective has it been for raising awareness of the danger of these jabs to humanity as a whole?
Well, it probably started when I'm an old political animal from the 90s. I was a chair in Pat Buchanan's presidential campaign. So I've been awake to this New World Order since 1991, I guess. But I was kind of out of everything for a couple decades. And I walked around and saw a bunch of crazy people wearing masks and things like that and standing 6 feet apart, you know. And so it's why I say I'm a psychotherapist opposed to psychopathic authoritarianism. I have to admit, I think I probably stole that from Ron Paul when he diagnosed Congress as being psychopathic authoritarians when he left Congress. But I just, I looked around. I'm like, this is, everything we talked about in the 90s is happening right now. So none of it was wrong. And that's what's scary about this in a way. But so we started pushing back on coerced masks and like we had some resolutions declaring forced masks, lockdowns, or injections to be Nuremberg crimes and violating the Ninth Amendment and so on. And we started pushing back on that. What happened here in Florida is, DeSantis did his 4-month lockdown and all that, but it was bubbling up because in Florida, everybody owns guns. So what was happening is people were getting guns pulled on them in Walmarts and stuff like that. So the governor backed off. People think he protected our liberty here. No, he just was smart enough to back off before it all blew up on him, because then he'd have to be the heavy-handed authoritarian. So now he gets to say he protected our freedoms when really he just backed up when he had to. But so it started with that, and then I realized, as a psychotherapist, I specialize in clinical hypnosis. So I started thinking like, well, you're really not going to win the argument here if you're going to debate whether a bioweapon should be mandated or not. So let's just go after what it is, just like an attorney going after the opposing side's strongest argument. From an Ericksonian hypnosis point of view, there's an embedded command that it's okay to mandate a bioweapon or to take one, if you're going to debate whether it should be mandated. So we had to reframe that a little bit. When we passed the first resolution, in a normal world, this would have been across every talk radio station when we passed that in February of 2023. What happened was our local party had a press release, and we put it out through PR Web and PR Newswire. They censored that press release. So one of the two major parties in America, it's a county level, but still, we had an actual vote on something that got censored because they said it went against CDC standards, and it incited fear, if you can believe that. So after they did this massive terrorism campaign, scaring people left and right, and so I was like the one guy for 4 months going through the grocery store every day without a mask. Once in a while, I'd see like somebody else without a mask. I would literally wave and smile and say, "Hey, normal guy, how you doing?" And I was ready. I was ready to use deadly force if someone tried to put a mask on me. But and I got a little delayed. I don't know if you know, I had triple bypass heart surgery last April, actually, just over a year ago. I got kind of sick. It delayed me a little bit. But I was actually working on this while I was in the hospital. I got Dr. Francis Boyle to actually endorse the ban the jab resolution in writing. So I think it would be a lot more effective if it weren't for the censorship. So we're trying to cut through the censorship. But I want people to understand, too, because a lot of people think that just because I'm focused on this, that I'm not aware of the geoengineering or them trying to put the mRNA in the food or anything. No, I am, but this is such a high concentration. I think we need to get these off the market. Some people are thinking it's too late, but it still has to be done for a few reasons. We want to pave the way for future prosecutions, but also the shedding is a real issue. It's serious. My colleague, Dr. Anna Mahalchia, she specializes in dealing with unvaccinated victims of the shedding, people that get sick from the shedding. I know doctors that are treating a lot of vaccine-injured patients that are getting sick from the shedding, but also people that got the shots all have damaged immune systems. According to all the medical doctors I speak to that actually treat patients, like Dr. Vila, who's in the Villages here in Florida, which is this huge senior community. I think it's the largest in the country. And she's treating 3,500 quote unquote vaccine injured patients. If you need a break, just tell me if we got a commercial coming. Just interrupt me. But I just go, so just interrupt me. Joe, shut up. We got a break. That kind of thing. So she's treating 3,500 vaccine injured patients, and because other doctors in the area won't treat them. So and she's got to be concerned about her own health, but also what she's telling me is based on what she's looking at. Everybody that got the shot has a damaged immune system. And this is important for people to understand, because this is not a judgment on people that got the shot. They're actually the ones we're trying to protect the most right now, because everybody, 100% of the people have contaminated blood right now, even the unvaccinated. But the people that got the shots have damaged immune systems. So every time someone gets boosted and they're shedding this technology on them, those people are at a higher risk. And so they need, and so they're getting sick and they don't realize they're getting these turbo cancers, they're getting these heart conditions because of these injections and because people keep getting these injections. So they baited us like insects. Well, let's stop them from baiting us. That should be our first step.
Talk that matters. Johnny Vedmore on today's News Talk, TNT.